Hey guys, welcome. It's a beautiful Friday here in Montreal. Beautiful Friday. Woke up today bright and early. 0500 hours. I'm back on the warpath, even though I didn't really want to. It sucks. I don't like getting up early in the morning. I don't know about you guys. One sec here. My freaking. There we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah, I have a hard time getting up in the morning. I'm not going to lie. But I still did it because I was like, you know what? I'm going to have a badass day today. Got up. I went and did about an hour and a half of work, banging out some bloggy posts, doing some Facebook, keeping the dream alive. And then I head out to Brazilian Top Team. Shout out to Brazilian Top Team Jiu-Jitsu here in Dollar des Ormeaux, and did a 2-hour session. No gi Jiu-Jitsu. Only my third time. Man, holy shit. Talk about a workout. Like, I am rolling. I am getting folded. I am getting squeezed. I'm getting my joints put in all kinds of weird places. But it's a cool crew. I really enjoy it. It's a bunch of, I guess, more, what's the word I'm looking for here? More seasoned individuals. We're a little bit more long in the tooth, so we take things a little bit lighter, maybe than most. No 20-year-olds at 7 a.m. on a Friday. That's the good thing. They're too fucking hungover and probably banging their girlfriends still, so they don't show up. But us married guys, we don't need to worry about that. We can get up nice and early, head out to jiu-jitsu, and learn some new stuff. So the cool thing that I learned today was the Kimura. Now I've heard about these things watching MMA for years. I didn't know how to do it. So I've been working on that bad boy. Now all I want to do is the Kimura. So anybody in the Montreal area that wants to practice, I'm down, man. I just want to get good at this. I want to get really good. It's like mental chess. I don't know where my body is supposed to be. Like, my feet are here, my arm is here, my head's here. So you got to control everything all at once. It's really hard on the mind. I'll tell you that much. Considering I'm in full panic mode the entire time I'm grappling because I don't want to die. So definitely two parts of the brain that are competing for space, the survival side and the thinking side. I definitely need to be using that thinking side more once I can get a grip of the whole I'm not going to die while having some 200-pound male try to slowly choke me to death. But I'm having fun. It's great. Really enjoying it. And my son's doing it too. I'm really happy. He's really enjoying it too. So it's really cool to be both white belts at the same time. And anyways, that's that. But then right after that, I had a great session. I went right to the gym, did some deadlifts, working on that 405-pound PR that I chatted about with Rob here just the other day. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check it out, but it's in the Facebook group here. Let me just share with y'all the conversation. Okay. Yeah, we had a chat. When was that? Yesterday? 2 days ago. 2 days ago in the Facebook group. And the post is right here. It was cool because, I mean, me and Rob were both veterans of the Grenadier Guards, and we're both in a friendly competition to see who can get to the 405-pound deadlift the fastest. He's clearly in the lead. But his journey to get here has been freaking incredible, and it's just cool to see. He's got a post here that was put up about 4 hours ago doing that 325-pound squat. And the cool thing is that Rob really didn't start from much, to be honest. Like, he was doing a bit of CrossFit, but he wasn't working on strength by any means. The original post was him starting with just the empty bar and then just gradually bumping up week after week. And now he's he's doing really well. So this is the post right here. If you're watching live, or if you're watching this on YouTube later, this is the post. So you can come in the group and watch the replay. But if you're just listening, I strongly recommend hopping into the group and having a listen. I will be posting this on YouTube eventually and on the podcast. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to subscribe so that you can listen to the episode. So the great thing here is that it's inspirational, right? Rob is not coming from an athletics background. He is just a regular dude like all of us, works, Monday to Friday like all of us, kids, you name it. And now he's crushing massive deadlifts and massive squats because he just decided to destroy his limiting beliefs around lifting. Bad knee, bad shoulder, bad whatever. We've all got bad whatevers. So he just got after it and then has made a huge difference. And even before that, the day before, I had James, his coach, who's a member of the group too, member of the CAF, talk about strength training and like, why is it so important, especially for a soldier? So to give you like the context of where he's coming from, that's probably another episode you should check out as well. So a little bit of self-promotion there. And the reason why I want to talk about the podcast is guess what? Guess freaking what? Thanks to you, won the Best Veteran Army Podcast Award on the Broken Jarhead platform. So the Broken Jarhead platform decided to host podcast awards just for veterans, which is pretty cool. I'm just scrolling here to show you where it is, where I have my acceptance speech. Again, it's in the Facebook group. You can go find it here. I think it's a bit further down. People have been posting like crazy, so which is awesome to see. I was the only Canadian submission, and that means I know I've got to up my game because now I have made it clear that Canadians can participate, but Canadians can win. So there's a ton of good Canadian podcasts out there, veteran podcasts that need to just like get out there. And being on an American platform, they just have more volume. They just have more reach. And this was a huge honor. So this is it here. I'll just play my acceptance speech real quick.
Richard Kaufman, Vertical Momentum, and the Hard to Kill podcast, and really love these guys. Are doing great work, but hate to say it, Richard, it's not your year this year. It's a daily voting, and it looks like Hard to Kill is our winner this year. David Moore.
Just for some context, Richard, who has the Vertical Momentum podcast, I was on his podcast. I know Richard. He is an awesome dude, American veteran, and has an incredible podcast as well. So to be in the nomination with him was an honor, and then to be able to actually beat him in this was, wow, it was super surprising. I didn't think I had a shot because he's got a massive following. So what I'm trying to say is thank you, because clearly you went the extra mile. You did the extra votes. You were setting up the alarms, voting every day, which pushed me over the top. So here it is again.
Morrow, we want to hear from you. He's actually a Canadian veteran, and here he is, David Morrow.
Best Veteran Army podcast. Are you guys serious? I'm super stoked and incredibly honored to have been given this award. And I just want to thank everybody that voted and all those people that have decided to plug me into their ear holes every day and listen to the awesome guests we've been putting on the show for the last 3 years, and it just continually gets better. So yes, I picked the most Canadian scenery possible, Canadian flag in the back, Canada geese in the water, and as the only Canadian podcast here, I hope I inspire all those other awesome Canadian podcasters to get involved on the Broken Jarhead platform and to showcase the awesome work that we're all doing in this space and the amazing results we're getting just by getting the word out, because we decided to take a risk and start talking about our experiences on a podcast platform. So thanks again for voting for the Hard to Kill podcast. I'm going to go have a celebratory beer, and thank you, the listener, again for all the support.
There we go. So thank you once again. Couldn't have done it without you guys, and continued support. It's been awesome. And that leads me into just what do we have in the podcast right now. So just released an episode with Kelly Starrett this week. Actually, no, that was last week. That is just like top tier, top shelf, whatever you want to call it, episode that he's the type of guy that you can have like a 4-hour conversation with and still not really scratch the surface on a lot of things. So this one is episode 125, and you can find it on your favorite podcast players and on YouTube. But if you want to learn about, especially how to manage your own pain, and in the context of, let's say, running and training, he literally goes over 2 examples from 2 questions I had with 2 of the guys that I'm working with, John and Gabe. And he just gives a really, really concise but detailed explanation of what you need to do in order to assess your knee pain and how to get after it and make sure that you can actually still run again and train again. And that's why he's the expert. That's why he's the GOAT. That's why he's the supple leopard. So it's the second time he's been on the podcast. So it's been really cool to be able to make a connection with Kelly Starrett, because he's the reason why I was able to get out of the pain cave and then eventually write my own book, because his book, The Supple Leopard, is just game changing. It's like a, if you want to call it like a, I don't know, a pain management Bible, if you want to call it. Definitely a book that probably everybody should have at least a skim through at one point in their lives. And the way he coined it, like I'm the gateway drug to pain management, and he's the toad you lick in the forest to go to the next level of transcendence. So definitely a cool episode. And yesterday I released an episode. It's not here in the Facebook group, but I will post it eventually, with Dr. Tim Shaw about moral injuries, Doctor of Philosophy. And there's a freaking crazy conversation and really forced me to think a lot. And because he's got such a high level understanding of moral injury from the perspective of history, and using individuals like Friedrich Nietzsche and his book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, to explain why soldiers and veterans have such a hard time coming back home after war and the issues that plague us. And it was just a fascinating conversation to have with an individual who actually reached out to me to get on the podcast. So really cool conversation, very high order stuff, but I think it's necessary to get a grip as to, especially if you're a veteran, as to what it means to go to war, come back home, and then be dealing with these issues that creep up that we don't really have an understanding of. But he kind of gets it, because there's context to this. 150 years ago they were talking about it, so it's nothing new. So really cool episode on that one. And frig, man, what else? Oh yeah, shit. Okay, this is, well, I got it right here. As you may or may not know, me and my buddy Mike, we started a company to create a game, a fitness app game that's centered around your smart device, so your smartwatch here. The goal of it is to get veterans moving, literally moving and losing weight, because the issue is pretty pronounced. Like, we know there are plenty of suicides in our community, and we're kind of fed up. And we just tried to figure, well, where could we have an impact? You know, I'm working on the fitness side. Mike's in the gaming industry. Okay, well, what can we do? And we both came to this decision, or this realization, like, wait, hold on a second. Well, maybe we could create an app that would actually be geared towards veterans to get them moving, and that requires a very low barrier to entry, because most of us already have a fitness device, some sort of wearable device, and every day the uptake is getting greater and greater. And then how do we actually make it so that it's not just passive, where it's just like, hey, good job, like you did a workout, that we could incentivize that workout. So we're creating this game around what you already have on you, so that you can have challenges amongst each other, and to encourage walking, working out, running, whatever it may be, through the game itself. So you get rewarded with points. We're going to call them Volun tokens, because our company is called Voluntold. And in order to get this off the ground, we've got the app being built. It's literally going to be ready in the next week or so. We're going to need people to test it. And so therefore, if you want to be part of something big, this hasn't been done before in the veteran community, if you want to be on the ground floor to help the app be as good as possible, we have a beta test coming up. So this is here in the Facebook group. I have it pinned to the top. All you need to do is click on the post. You'll get the link to the Google form. The Google form is going to send you to this exact freaking thing right here. Voluntold app beta tester registration. And you'll be able to be a part of something novel and new, but also get some perks for just signing up and deciding to give us a little bit of your time to make this a knockout game for the veteran community, and a partial solution to the suicide problem that we're seeing here in the veteran community. So definitely head over here. We need about 20, 30. We've already got 10 have already signed up, so that's awesome. If we get another 10 more, we'd be really happy. If we get 20 more, that'd be even awesome, even more awesome. So if that's the case, and if you know a friend, that would be cool. Like, we don't need a crazy amount of time for you to test this, but we do need your feedback. So if you sign up, just understand that we're going to be asking you questions. We may need to get on a phone call, and this is just all to better the process and better the game experience, so that when we do fully launch it, it's ready to go and fully functional and fun. So that's Voluntold. That's right here. Okay, so that's in the Facebook group. And if you're curious to know a little bit more, our website's going to be ready relatively soon. So let me just share that with you. I just need to reshare here. Stop share and then share again. Share a Brave tab. I believe it's this one here. Yes. Yeah, cool. So our website's going to be live in the next few days. So right now I've got one of our blog posts pulled up here for voluntold.co. That's going to be our website that you can head to, and you'll be able to sign up for the mailing list and additionally for the app once it goes live. As you can see, we're still in construction. What I want to point you to is the how-to here. I'm just going to open that up for you guys. I think I just opened up the home, which isn't ready to go. But you can see we are in the middle, just like a building. The supports are up. The foundation is being built. And if I just take you to the how-to here, sorry, my connections are lagging a little bit. We can have a look as to how this is going to shake out. So the rules of the game are going to be really simple, guys. In order to play this game, well, first of all, you're going to have a wearable device. Okay, so that's simple enough. We're going to be earning Volun tokens in the game. Okay, so these tokens will have a value within the game, just like any other game that you've played online or on a console. So the first rule of the Voluntold game is you have to complete a 20-minute workout with an average heart rate of 110 beats per minute. Rule number 2 is for every 6,000 step block you complete into a 24-hour period, you will receive Volun tokens. Rule number 3 is when completing a 20-minute workout, every extra 5-minute time span at 110 beats per minute, you will earn more Volun tokens. Rule number 4, earn Volun tokens by referring your family and friends to sign up. And rule number 5, buy power-ups that will earn you extra Volun tokens either on past workouts or future workouts. All right, so that's it, guys. We've got the framework done. Now it's time to get it out, get it into the hands of every one of you, and start playing and see where you can go from here. We've got all kinds of things planned out. If we look at the, we'll look at the roadmap here, guys. I'm really excited about this. We are obviously in, whoops, not this. We're in phase 1 here. I might be, yeah, there we go, roadmap, perfect. So if we have a quick look at the roadmap here, we've got the big initial ideas down, and we're working towards building these out one phase at a time. So we use the roads that we had in Afghanistan to identify where we're at in the roadmap. Right now we're on Lake Effect. So this is our proof of concept phase. So we're building this out, making sure it works. Then we move to Hyena, which is phase 2, is developing the leaderboards for users and post their scores. Then we're going to move to Darien, phase 3, developing community aspect of the game. Phase 4 is Killian's, developing the charity aspect of the game. Phase 5 is Lalik, is developing the marketplace ecosystem. And phase 6 is Red Dog, where we integrate crypto, 1-for-1 conversion of points earned. So there we go, guys. That's the project in a nutshell. So like I said, if you want early ground floor entry, become a beta tester, right? All it takes is a little bit of your time and your feedback, and we can really knock this out of the park. And remember, this is a veteran run program for veterans, so we're really looking to leverage our community as much as possible. So definitely share with friends, and we'll definitely be posting more here in the Facebook group when we have more updates. What else do I want to talk about, man? time is it? It's just past 12:30. Let's see here if there's anybody that's commenting first. Let's just go to the comments here. All right, Dan. All right. Are you providing workouts or doing your own thing? Dan, you read my mind, brother. Yes, obviously there is going to be a strong link between Dave Moore PT and Voluntold, and there will be workouts through the app itself, especially because we're looking at creating a one-stop shop so that not only can you get fitter, but you actually have the programs that can help you get fitter and the resources to help you get fitter. So definitely that's going to be something that's going to be included. For the time being, we want to make sure the app works well. And then once we have the marketplace and we have the whole ecosystem set up, there will be workouts that will be provided through the app, both for free and for purchase. So yeah, that'll definitely be a thing. So great question, Dan, much appreciated. So the only other thing I wanted to talk about was just something that was on my mind. I posted it on Facebook yesterday. All of last year was a shit show. I don't know for you guys if that was the same for you, but man, it was hard on morale. Like it just kicked the shit out of me. And it was all related to not just COVID, but just the general breakdown of just our norms and how we interact with each other. And from what I could see, it was all driven by just really shitty conditions that were created decades ago, but essentially came to fruition within our own political systems and our media, and our also shift in society away from centralized authority. And it was just a whole cocktail of things that just also collided with the whole Afghan debacle, where Afghan interpreters weren't looked after and extracted out of Afghanistan in a timely manner. And, I'm still talking with my interpreter's family that are stuck in Islamabad. And it's just a bad situation. And it was just made worse by incompetence, and made worse by just the whole COVID situation. And one thing that stood out to me from the start, I was all in at the beginning. I was like, holy shit, like we gotta, like, this is like, they wouldn't be saying that it's this bad if it wasn't this bad. We better take this seriously. So I was all in on the mask. I was all in on the freaking first vaccine. I was like, hey, and on the podcast, I was like, hey, like, like it's your decision, but ultimately, it's probably a good idea to get yourself vaccinated. And, because for me, I was always an individual who looked at things from a scientific perspective, right? I have a degree in science. I really appreciate the scientific method. I understand it to a certain degree. I would say better than the average human being, only because I studied it for a little bit. And so therefore, when things started to unravel and the mandates started to come in, and then it wasn't very clear that transmissibility was stopped by vaccination and et cetera. And we all know the story, right? Like safe and effective, flatten the curve, like we heard these things over and over again. It led to me just being really, I guess, jaded and realizing that, maybe our governments don't have our best interest in mind. And that was kind of destabilizing for me, because I was always under the belief that our government would always work in our best interest, even though they might be incompetent at times. The goal is not to be malevolent. The goal is not to cause harm. The goal is to be forthright and be as virtuous as possible. But that became less and less clear as time went on. And now it just seems like I don't even know what to say. And it all stems from just what I saw with the Pfizer executive in the European Union, basically flat out saying, like, we never had data on transmissibility. And to say that so nonchalantly, almost, he was laughing about it. And it was a directed question from, I don't know if they call him a member of parliament there, but he was Dutch. It was so on the nose. It's like, wait, hold on a sec. You didn't have the data? Like, you didn't do the test? But every politician said, if you get this, you will stop the transmission. And now they're trying to, I know what they're going to try and do. They're going to try to pull it back and say, no, we didn't, that's not what we meant. No, you said, because I remember having a QR code saying I couldn't go into a restaurant because I didn't have a vaccine. Because the point was, if I didn't have the vaccine, I would get you sick. But if there's no data on that, how is that even possible to know? And that's what scientists were pushing back on from the start. And that's what kind of caught me as weird, is like, well, the flu vaccine has never stopped you from transmitting the virus. It just prevents you from getting sicker. So therefore, just go about your business. So anyways, that was pissing me off. And yesterday just came to a head, and I decided to write about it. So I'll drop it in the blog post. It's hard to take things on the nose like that, knowing that there was so much damage that's been done over the last few years. I'm just hoping that we can come back together and realize that it's no longer in our best interest to just blindly accept what we're told from higher authorities. And that's partly why I'm in this space. And that was the conversation I had with Kelly Starrett. It's up to us, and that's hard. How do you go from being told what to do and following authority because you think that they're always on your side, to I got to do everything on my own. I got to learn about literally everything else and take everything on myself, including my health, is a heavy burden to take. And I know it's not easy. And so it might be just easier to just put your head in the sand and say, you know what, I'm sure they've got this. I'm just going to listen to what they have to say. But unfortunately, that I think those days are done. I think those days are long gone. So you're going to have to find those individuals, find those people that are voices of reason that you can trust. And I take that very seriously. So I do apologize for having recommended to take a vaccine, because it could have caused harm. I just assumed that things were on the up and up. But to even recommend, that's one thing I won't do in the future. Any medical intervention, I won't make a statement or any kind of recommendation whatsoever. I think that's what I'm going to do moving forward, because I can't necessarily, and who am I to say anything, right? I thought I was doing what was right for society, I guess, at the time, but I no longer can, I guess, take that stance anymore. So I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to keep on having awesome guests on the podcast. I'm going to still teach about fitness and health. But when it comes to stuff like, medication or what you should do as an individual for your own health, I'm going to leave that up to you. I'm going to leave that up to you and not make any recommendations. I'm just going to present the facts and take it as it is on your end. Okay? So that's my responsibility to you moving forward. Okay, I think that's it for me. Guys, it's Friday. Go enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the rest of the weekend. I'm going to watch some UFC on Saturday. Probably practice some Kimuras with some buddies now. I feel like I'm a kid again. That's the cool thing. I feel, like when you're a kid and you just want to wrestle all day, like all my son wants to do is just wrestle with me all day. Like I feel like that again. I think that's the coolest thing that's come out of starting a new practice of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, is just feeling like a kid again. So that's it for me, guys. Be well. Train hard, fight easy. See you on the next one.